Okay, so we're back in the kitchen with another recipe. So today I'm going to make low carb, keto, everything bagels. And if you don't like everything bagels, you don't have to put the seasoning in it. You can just make plain bagels. But I love everything bagels, so that's what I'm making today. And then as a bonus, when the bagels are in the oven, I'm going to mix up my own everything seasoning. So I hope you enjoy this recipe. Let's get cooking. Okay, so let's get started. I have a bowl on top of my scale because I want to save on some dishes and not have so many spoons and cups to wash later. So the first thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to put in 2 cups of almond flour, or 192 grams if you're doing it on the scale. All right, just about there. $1.92. Okay, and then I'm going to do 15 grams of baking powder. So I'm going to set that back to 0. And this is a tablespoon or 15 grams. Trying not to go over. Okay, and then I'm going to do a little bit of garlic powder, and I'm going to do a teaspoon or just about 5 grams of garlic powder. Adding in the garlic powder is going to give it a little bit more taste into the dough. All right. And then I'm going to do the same thing with this onion powder, just about 5 grams. All right, so there's all of our dry ingredients, and we're just going to mix that together. Mix it up. Kind of mash it down a little bit and get some of those lumps out of there. This is a really good recipe for breakfast sandwiches, or if you just feel like toasting it and having a bagel with a little bit of cream cheese on top, which is what I really like to do. Okay. That's all mixed up. Okay, so in this bowl, I've already measured out some cream cheese. This is 5 tablespoons of cream cheese, or 2.5 ounces, or 70 grams, however you prefer to weigh that out. I weighed out 70 grams on the scale, and then I'm going to add 3 cups of mozzarella cheese, or 375 grams. If you haven't recognized it yet, this is going to be a fathead dough turned into bagels, is basically what it is. But I've never tried it, and I'll bet it's going to be good. I'll let you know in the description what I thought of it after I make it. Okay, 375 grams, and I shredded my own mozzarella. So this bowl is going to go in the microwave for about 1.5 minutes. Okay, so that's 1.5 minutes in the microwave. The cream cheese is all melted and the mozzarella is almost there. So I'm just going to mix that together really good. You can tell it's getting doughy already, the melted cheese. Okay, that's all mixed in. Let's get every drop off of that spoon. Oh my goodness, this is going to be good. And so I'm going to put that in the microwave for another minute. All right. So now it's out of the microwave after another minute. It's hot and bubbly. So I'm going to stir it up just a tiny bit more. I'm going to put in my flour mixture. And I'm going to add 2 eggs. I'm going to give that a stir. You can really see that dough starting to come together like that. Okay. So at this point, I'm going to put it together with my hands. So I'm going to put on a pair of gloves because I don't like it when the dough gets under my fingernails. And I just think it's better to mix it together like this. I get a little bit impatient when I'm stirring with a spoon. This is still a little bit hot, but with the gloves on you don't really feel it. And if it feels like it's cooling down too much, you can always pop it in the microwave for another 30 seconds. But if you work pretty fast, you don't usually need to do that. Okay, so now it's looking really doughy. I'm going to turn it out on my counter. And I'm going to knead it a little bit. Oh my goodness, that's really starting to look like dough. All right, so I'm going to let it sit on the counter and rest for about 10 minutes. And then we're going to shape it into little bagels and bake it up. Okay, so I'm back. The dough is rested for about 10 minutes. So now we're just going to divide it up into 6 pieces. These are going to make some pretty good sized bagels. Okay, so I divided it up into a half, and then each half into a third. Let's see. That one looks a little bit small. Okay, then just going to roll that into a ball. Just about, I don't know, about that size, 4 inches. I'm going to put a little hole in the middle so it looks like a bagel. Kind of stretch it out a little. And yeah, there you go. Bam! Okay, so I'm going to do this to the other 5 pieces of dough, and I'll be right back. Okay, so here's the last one. Forming it into a ball, kind of tucking it under. Poke a hole in the middle, kind of stretch it out a little bit. Set it in the pan. Kind of shape it up a little bit. And there you go, 6 bagels. So now this is going to go in a 425-degree oven for about 15 minutes, and then we'll check on it. Oops, I almost forgot something. I have an egg that I mixed up in this bowl. I just whisked it up, and I'm going to put an egg wash on top of these bagels. You don't want to forget that, because that's going to give you a crispy, crispy crust. So let's just put a little bit of egg around there. One more. All right, there you go. Now it's going in the oven at 425 for about 15 minutes. Okay, so while the bagels are in there cooking, let's make some everything bagel seasoning. So I have a little shaker jar here that I have on my scale. And in the shaker jar, I'm going to put in 22 grams of sesame seeds. All right. Then I have these black sesame seeds, 22 grams of those. And that equals to about 1.5 tablespoons. All right. Turn that to 0. And then we're going to put in about 5 grams of onion flakes. Which equals about 1 teaspoon. All right, and then about 1 teaspoon or 5 grams of poppy seeds. Poppy seeds always remind me of the Wizard of Oz. Okay. You're supposed to use garlic flakes, but I don't have any, so I'm going to use just granulated garlic, about 1/2 teaspoon or 3 grams of this. You don't have to keep pressing 0 if you can't, unless you can't do the math. I can do 10 plus 3 pretty easy. All right, and then just a little bit of salt, about 1/2 teaspoon or 3 grams. Ooh, that was really close. Okay, so there you have it. I'm going to put the lid on it. Put my hand over the holes and just shake it up. And there you have it. Everything bagel seasoning. Okay, so they've been in the oven for about 14 minutes. I'm going to put just a little bit more of an egg wash on top. Just barely any there. Oh man, they smell so good and they look delicious. Then I'm just going to take some of that seasoning that we made and I'm going to liberally sprinkle that on. Because I love this seasoning. All the pieces are going to get nice and toasted and delicious. So that's just going to go in the oven for about 1 more minute. Okay, so there you go. All done. Cooled off on a plate. And oh yeah, I split one in half. Toasted it in my toaster. Put some cream cheese on it. And now it's going down. Okay, so I hope you enjoyed my recipe for everything bagels. And if you make it, let me know in the comments below. I'd like to know if you like it or not. And I really think that this is going to help satisfy some bread cravings out there if you're really missing bread on keto and low carb. So that's all that I have for you today. So until next time, keep calm and keto on. That was my brilliant idea right there. Oh, darn it.